always do like multiple claps so that the editor gets annoyed. And then and can't automatically match it. Then he has to manually match it. So the editor is doing his job.
Yep.
Okay. Hello guys. Welcome to the Weekend Project. This is second season, episode 3. And I'm so grateful to have Rory Kramer on the show.
What's up, man?
It's a very big honor to have you.
It's surreal to actually be in India because I've had so many people on social media reach out saying they're from India, saying they're fans of my work, saying to come visit, saying that they can't buy my merch here. So it's like to come here and actually meet people in the flesh and actually just walk out on the street and have somebody come up and be like, playing the Avicii video, and he's like,
correct,
is this you?
Yeah.
And I'm
so
like,
I want to share this story because last night, was it? Yeah, last night me and Rory went for a walk, and these two dudes came up to him, took a selfie, and so I think Rory said, "Is it just because I'm American?" And they were like, "Yeah," and they were trying to communicate, but they couldn't actually say what they wanted to. And then 5 minutes later, we walk forward. These guys show him the Avicii video, and they're like, "You're this guy. You're this guy."
Yep. And it was crazy that it just shows not only like that I'm recognizable, but like just Avicii and like what he left behind, like his music. He was a god of what he did, and he was a pioneer. And so to see someone to come recognize me through his work, it's an honor to be attached to that name.
But how does it feel when people don't even know your name or like your face, but they recognize you from your work halfway around the world?
It's crazy. It's, like it makes me feel better that I'm not good with names. It takes me a long time to learn names. So if somebody comes up and they just know me because of my work and not because of my name, like it's awesome. It's flattering.
Yeah. And so then I saw this clip of this girl from the meetup saying that she wanted to end her life, but she saw your video and she decided to live on.
Yeah, it's and she had these tattoos from this band 21 Pilots, one of my favorite bands, and they sing about just staying alive, and it was cool to hear, like, because I've read messages online where people are like, "Hey, you've changed my life, you've saved my life. I wanted to hurt myself, nah, I don't." But to actually to hear someone's voice say that to you, the magnitude of that like impacts your life more than you can anticipate.
And like there are a lot of people who have run their tattoos as well.
Yeah, like a guy ironically staying in our hotel, he had fears only skin deep and run it tattooed right on his forearm, and we went out and shot with him today, and that was really cool. We went to Dhobigat?
Yeah, Dhobigat.
Did I say it right?
Yes.
So we went there and walked around, shot some of the people washing clothes and sheets. It was really, I went home and washed my socks in the sink. True story.
Yeah. Were you able to, jumping back to the earlier conversation, were you able to figure out a distribution network for Run It in India?
Not yet. I'd like to though.
Yeah. If anyone listening runs like a merch distribution network, just reach out.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm so popular in this country versus the rest of the world, and it's not a popular. It makes me feel good about why I'm popular here. It's like inspiring people and other people to like pick up cameras and
absolutely
discover their passions and discover who they are in life. So like that, to know that I'm recognizable off that, it's the ultimate compliment.
Yeah. Before this, before I came here, I was in the shower and I was just thinking about when was the first time I actually saw your work.
Yeah,
I heard of you. And it just hit me. So this guy over here, the one holding the phone, he and I started. So we were in engineering college together.
Okay.
3 semesters in, we knew we didn't want to do it. And we also simultaneously developed this love for filmmaking. Not that we knew anything. We just wanted to make cool videos.
Yeah.
And one of those videos was your music video for I'll Show You.
Yeah.
One of those videos were at the time was that. And we had this folder saying if we drop out, what kind of videos to make. And there were a lot of videos in there, and one of those was the music video for I'll Show You.
Dude, that's sick.
So in some or the other way, you've impacted a huge part of my life as well.
That's amazing to hear. And to like kind of go back into what you were saying. So you ended up quitting. And now you're doing your thing.
Yeah. He took up audio engineering. I took up filmmaking.
Wow. So like what I find inspiring about that is I feel like you said, like, in our third year, we realized that this isn't what we want to do. How many people still go on and do what they don't want to do?
Yeah. All the people, but I think it's getting better. I think it's getting better because of the internet.
Yeah.
Like, because people like you can reach out to a lot more people now. I think earlier it was terrible. Like when I was planning to drop out, I asked my parents, when I went up to my dad and I was like, when did you realize you like what you do? Both my parents are doctors.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, I don't know. I still don't know what I like. I still don't know what I'm passionate about. And he was very honest.
Yeah.
And I think because I also had the ability to see that video. Earlier, I wouldn't. Like, without the internet, I couldn't have seen that video.
Yeah.
So I think that plays a huge role.
That's crazy. Yeah, the internet's it allowed me to have my own job.
Like, also the guy that showed you the Avicii video, he didn't even know the language that you speak.
I know.
Yeah, it's insane how you have impacted him.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's that's the power of music. Though.
Yeah.
It's
Going back to that video, how was it? Like, how did I'll Show You come about? Because it's such a simple video. It's such a simple. There's nothing in that video, but it's so interesting to watch.
Long story short, I was on tour with Justin Bieber, and we were in Greece, Santorini. He was finishing up Purpose, and we were hanging by the pool. And I said, "Hey, where's you've been everywhere. Where's some place you've never been that you always wanted to go?" And he was like, "Iceland." Didn't even miss a beat. Said Iceland, and I was like, "Dude, I have a folder in my phone of all these Iceland pictures. If I ever go one day, I'd like to see these places." So we start talking about Iceland. We start talking about this photographer, Chris Burkhart, and Justin goes back in to record like another song, and he comes back out and he's like, "Yo, tell Chris Burkhart if he comes, I'll pay for his ticket." The next thing I know, we're on a flight going to Iceland for a little less than 2 days. And so everywhere I went, it was just like, I'd never seen that kind of beauty, like landscape wise. And so when I had my camera, I was just doing what I would normally do if no one was there.
Correct.
Just so happens Justin Bieber's standing in my shot.
Yeah.
And when I got on the plane, when we left, I was so inspired to like start putting it together.
Yeah.
And Justin, a few months before, he had downloaded a demo for I'll Show You. And it was the only demo that finished downloading. All the others didn't finish. That was the only one. And I put it on the timeline. I put the first clip to it. Shit. And I was just like, whoa, oh my God.
Oh, so you got that track later?
Yeah. And so Justin comes and he's like, "Yo, what are you working on?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. It could be a lyric video. I don't know." And so I play him like the first 15 seconds and he just goes, "Yo, this is going to be the music video." So he tells his security guard to go take his seat in first class. He sits with me and Coach, and he just watches me edit the whole video. And the next day at this Calvin Klein shoot, Scooter Braun comes in and he's like, "Yo, how was the trip to Iceland?" And he's like, "Yo, Rory, show him the video." And I was like, "Yeah, I finished it last night." And they're like, "Wait, what? You finished it?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Justin said he wanted to use it as a music video." So I just stayed up all night, cranked it out. And they watched it and they were like, "Let's put this out tomorrow." Like it was just insane. Like, not like actually tomorrow, but they're like, "Let's put this out." And so it was, I got to help, support that album, an amazing album.
Yeah. And it's insane how quickly that all came together. I don't think music videos get done so quickly.
Yeah. Well, and what was nice about it was I didn't have to direct Justin. He just did his thing and he just would sit there. Like when it looks like he's admiring the view, he's literally admiring the view. And like the thing getting in the glacier, like we all decided, Chris Burkhart was like, everybody has to jump in. So we're like, all right, let's do it. Justin gets out of the car and before I can get my camera set up, he's already in the water. And I'm like, this is the shot. So all I had was Justin walking out. And so in the video, I thought it'd be cool to play it in reverse. So it's like he dunks himself out of the water. So it was a blessing in disguise.
Even Chris has a huge fan following in India.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Has he been here?
I don't know, but a lot of friends look up to him.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. He was one of my first inspirations in the landscape photography game, and he still crushes it. I still don't know how he does it.
So I remember the both of us were watching. We were talking about Watchtower of Turkey and how that's inspired a whole generation of filmmakers. Yeah. And in a lot of ways, you have done that as well. You've inspired you might have been responsible for, say, me dropping out of college to like thousands of people becoming filmmakers.
It's crazy.
And what I want to know is what inspires you?
Stories like that, like to hear something like you inspired like a generation of kids, like correct. It's cool because I remember when I was their age, my job didn't exist. Yeah. And it was just like, in the back of my mind, I always thought I'm going to have to get some job I hate. Yeah. And I'm going to have to do that the rest of my life. And I don't want to do that. But when the time came, I created kind of an avenue into this like wild, wild west of filmmaking. And it's opened up doors for other kids to follow in the same footsteps. And to be a trailblazer is, it's the coolest thing ever. It's like, absolutely. It's so gratifying.
I remember this conversation I had with you, and something that's very unique to you as well is you're very close to your parents.
Yeah.
Can you share what that relationship means to you? Because I love that point where you said, I was in the meetup and I video called my mother.
Yeah.
And very few people would do that.
I FaceTime my dad and my mom just because it's like, I don't know how much more time I have with them, and I want to share like my experiences and my travels with them as much as I can. And I remember like when I was 27, my dad was like, you've been more places in the world than I have. And I was like, what? I was like, am I successful? And it was like, but it was cool. And so my relationship with them, it's like, it's everything. It's like, it's the reason I'm sitting here talking to you. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be alive.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane how grateful you are to them.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some things in life, so you learn to be grateful.
Yeah. What do you think is a great video? What makes a great video?
Something that can hold your attention, especially in today's day and age. Everybody's attention span is that short, and if you can grasp somebody's attention from start to finish, I think that's the ultimate win.
Yeah, and talking about that, what do you think of the shorter platforms getting a bigger hold of the market now, like TikTok, which is like 15 seconds? What do you think of all those things?
I don't know much about TikTok, to be honest with you.
It's insane in India.
It's
blowing up. It's blowing up. I mean, I promise you, if you make like a TikTok account about like video education, you'd like blow up out of proportion.
All right, maybe I'll try it.
Because so in my theory is it's giving a whole new generation of creators a voice. Because because in some ways it's limited because you can lip sync to videos, right? It's already recorded tracks and dialogues. But there are a lot of people who are restricted by writing a script. They don't know how to essentially write a script. They need a starting point, and TikTok is a starting point.
Yeah.
I've seen so many creators just blow up because of TikTok.
That's cool. I never thought about that like that.
Yeah. What's an interesting... You visited Egypt before this.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was amazing. Egypt was probably the first place that I can remember that I ever wanted to travel to. Learned about it when I was a kid, and it was... When I got older, I was told, like, when I was able to travel there, I was told it was unsafe. Can't go there.
Yeah.
And then this kid, Ziad, he somehow got my phone number, kept calling me. I just figured it was some kid I happened to give my phone number out. Because sometimes, like, you catch me in the right mood. I'm just like, yo, here's my phone number. And then all of a sudden there's 100 texts. And I'm like, I should think a little longer. But this kid was messaging me, and I was like, I just probably some kid I gave my number to. And the text he first sent was like, "Yo, bro, when you come into Egypt," and I'm just like, I must have talked about Egypt with this guy, so I was like, "Dude, I'm down." And like over the course of like 6-8 months, I like finally decided to do it, and went over there, and I wanted to document just that it's a safe country to travel to. And the people were amazing, and people were, either just straightforward, like, "Hey, yes, no, you can't do that," or they're like, other people would just be very friendly. I got invited into their homes, so it was awesome.
And was it like, what was one of the more interesting places to travel in the world apart from Egypt?
I mean, India's been fascinating in the sense of just like, I can't place my finger on it yet, but I there's something about the people that is the energy. I think it's it's like they host this energy, and so I think that's a huge part of who a person is and life in general.
Correct. One thing that fascinates me is you're 10 years older.
Yeah.
Like we have a 10-year difference, and you have no sign of losing your youth. Like you have absolutely no sign of losing your.
Well, I want to live forever if I can.
But what I want to know is, does that 10-year give you some different perspective that I might lose out on?
I don't think you'll lose out on it. You'll just get it in 10 years.
No, but that I don't have right now. Like what do those 10 years teach you?
Time. Teaches you time. It's like I look back now at like when I was 24, 25, and I'm just like, that makes total sense. And it's like, that was horrible. You shouldn't have been doing that. And it's like everything makes sense. And so even though like life doesn't make sense right now to me, but like everything prior to this point makes complete sense. And it's like why I'm here.
I don't relate to that at all. Maybe in 10 years. The first time I saw you again, I told you one of the video that stuck with me was Dreams Are Real Part 3. Because
Dreams Are Real Part 3.
Everything came together so well. The soundtrack was done so well.
I love that. That was the Closer remix by Sean Frank.
Yes,
I really
by Sean
love
Frank,
that.
yeah.
That's a great, I'm going to listen to that when I leave here.
And how is it working with the Chainsmokers?
It's awesome. It's pretty effortless because we're so close as friends.
Yeah.
I lived with Drew for a year, and it was the best year of my life creatively, like with his band, because he and I would just wake up, we'd eat breakfast, we'd work out. We were always together.
Yeah.
And so as he's making the songs, I'm just saying ideas out loud, and he's like, "That's sick." And then I'd be like, "Yo, what if we did this?" And he's like, "I love that." And he's like, "What if we did this?" And I'd be like, "That would be cool." And it was just like a cool collaborative piece of art.
But does that spoil you in some way that you can't work with artists that are not friends now?
I don't know. What's the point if you're not working with people you want to work with? Then otherwise you're just collecting a paycheck, and then it becomes a job. Yeah.
But do you have to do that at all?
Yeah, I got to make money. That's the worst part about it. I was telling Drew today, I was like, I wish I could make my clothing company big enough to make a living off of it, because I try to have like messages, and it's not about me. It's more about just life in general, maybe mental health, I guess. And I was like, I'd love, because I want to do videos for free. And like, just because I hate feeling like I have to make something.
Correct.
Like there's even the pressure of like being in India. It's like my biggest fan base, and like, am I going to get enough content to make a video? What if I don't? Like, am I going to these people they're already anticipating it. So it causes the internal pressure, which it's a tough thing to overcome.
Yeah, but I think, but a lot of kids are stuck with that dilemma, right? They want to do things that they love, but that doesn't give them money.
Right.
What would your advice be over there?
I've found in my life that chasing something like because it's a passion,
correct,
the money found itself there in the end. Like rent always got paid. Yeah, it just, the money always found its way. Like if I didn't go chasing the money, like, and I just chased the project, the money always presented itself in the end.
Do you think when did you start making films?
When I was like 20 years ago.
How'd that happen? Like, did you go to college? Did you
Well,
do it
I
out
was
of school?
15. I was a freshman in high school, and my parents had this VHS camera. My friend and I, we would just film ourselves all day, like after school, and we thought we were super cool. And after 4 years of filming, I taught myself how to edit because I was like, we have a bunch of cool clips. I should make like a video and then sell it at school.
Was it digital though at the time?
No, it was you'd burn the file onto a CD.
Oh, okay.
You put the CD into the computer, you drag it onto your desktop. It was like a data disk.
Yeah.
And so I had sold movies to kids at school and made like $500 in a week, and I was just like, yes,
that's insane though. I was like, but $500 in a week at the time.
Because I was like, otherwise you were working at like fast food joint or cutting grass and like
selling McDonald's.
Yeah. I worked at McDonald's 4 years.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was awesome. I worked with the guy I started making videos with. Me and him both got a job there. So
was this before the $500 or after the $500?
It was before.
Oh, okay.
So I knew that grind of working at a fast food restaurant.
Correct.
I was the worst at cash register, like because in the drive-thru, because you were required to take the money and take an order.
Yeah.
And so that's like your brain in two different areas. And I was like, I can't do this. My sister, amazing at it. She was like great, but not me.
I can't imagine how that could be tough. But okay, so you made the $500 and then?
And then I bought another camera with it. And from there, I went to college. And by the time I got into classes where you could like edit, I had already went to the computer labs and got on those programs and self-taught myself.
Yeah.
So by the time I got into the classes, the edits I was making, kids were like, yo, this is sick. Like, how are you doing this? Because I already taught myself the stuff they were computing right then.
Yeah.
So it's all about input and output.
And this was when you were 18?
Yeah.
And what happened after that then?
After I was 18, graduated college, like when I was 22, I moved down to Orlando, Florida, and I worked for a pro wake skater named Scott Byerly. And I helped produce videos for his company, Volume Wake Skate Videos. And did that for a year, moved home, had shoulder surgery. And there's no money in it at the time. Like I didn't get paid for a year of my work, but it was the time of my life. And it was my dream job. And I found out I might have to get a real job because you can't make money like this. Had moved to California when I was 25 just to be closer to the entertainment industry, and got a job prepping content for digital distribution all around the world, like for Netflix, Hulu, HBO, iTunes. And after that, after 4.5 years of that, somebody saw my videos, and it was kind of like right when social media was making a name for itself. And I started touring with DJs, making their content and doing something that I didn't ever think would be a job. And it was, and it started paying well. And I got to tour with people that I liked listening to, and the work didn't feel like work. It felt like I was playing with my friends, just like when I picked up a camera when I was 15.
What's speaking of cameras, what was the biggest leap in cameras that you've ever had?
I remember I had this like $500 Sony Handycam. And then when I got the $500, I bought another one. So I had two of them. And then when I went to college, there was this camera called the Sony VX2000.
Okay, I don't know.
It was like the shit.
Okay.
It had a lunchbox handle, so when you skateboarded, you could get real low. So they just came out with the VX2100, and it was like $3,000. And I remember buying it when I was a freshman in college, and I was just like, what am I doing? So I spent so much money on it, but it was like, that was like when I really like, this is my thing.
Yeah. Did you go through that 5D Mark II phase?
I didn't have the Mark II. I got a 7D, and as soon as I got the 7D, I bought the 5D Mark III because I got addicted to the DSLR, and I was just like, I don't want this crop synchro in a full frame. Yeah.
No, the Mark II, I think for me was a huge leap because it could do video.
Yeah.
For the first time, it could do video.
It was crazy. I remember those videos, like just the look of it.
What cameras do you use now?
I use a Canon 1DX Mark II.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 5D Mark IV in my bag. I like that for photos really a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm waiting to see what Sony does. I want to see if they drop the A7S3.
Yeah. I think 1 million people are waiting for it.
Because I do miss shooting concerts on my A7S II.
Just because of the low light?
It was just always such a good image with like the crowd, the flames. I just remember when I would shoot with that, I could do it in my sleep. Yeah. And I'm not like saying like that, but saying like I would be so present. It was so fun. And I feel like with the Canon, sometimes you're a little more paying attention to the camera rather than
It's funny you say that. For me, it's the reverse. I think with the Canon, the controls just like fall into place.
Canon controls fall into place, but I feel like once you're actually recording, the Sony, something about concerts, it just looks epic.
Yeah, but
maybe the range for color.
That's true, yeah. But like
But no, Canon, like I could do that in my sleep. The controls, I can format my card, put it back
It's impossible.
in slow motion.
I think if you use a Sony camera for 10 years, it's impossible to still figure out the menu.
No, it was like I used it for a solid year, and like I would still have to like jog my memory or like go over it before a concert because it would take so long to get to where you want to go.
I think my only favorite thing, like very technical, is that you can leave the ISO on auto.
Yeah.
And just give it like a 100,000 cap and it would do its own thing.
Yep. That was a nice feature. Like Canon doesn't do that. Canon, you can set an ISO limiter, but
the range isn't that good.
But all that that limiter lets you do is when you actually go in to select ISO, it won't let you go past the range. It doesn't do it automatically, which is weird.
If I quickly want to end this, and one of the most important questions in my head is, if someone looks up to you right now, watches a video of yours and gets inspired to like get into filmmaking, what do you think their course should be? Do you think they should go to film school or just learn by themselves? What do you think their course should be?
Their goal?
Their journey. How do they learn film?
I think whatever they see is the best fit. I mean, with YouTube and Google, you can self-educate yourself, and there's no proper way to do video. Like, and I've proven that. Like, I created my own job, and now other kids are starting to do that. So to be able to create something new just proves that the possibilities are endless with like video. As long as you can operate the camera, like telling a story and capturing whatever you're trying to capture is the most important thing.
Makes sense. And what is it that you want to create next?
Babies.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'd like to have a kid.
You serious? Why though? Take me to that thought process.
What? I don't know. I just feel like I'm at the age where I've like kind of not chilled out, but gotten to a point of like, I know my limits and I'm not going to be pushing my limits just because I don't want to die. I want to live.
I also think because you've had so many experiences.
Yeah, I've had a lot of experiences.
So
it's kind of crazy. I guess I'm Gandhi.
you have full potential to be Gandhi.
That's awesome.
I'm my selfish agenda is to run it kurtas on your website now.
Get what? Oh,
these are called kurtas. Yeah,
that would be nice, dude. I'm obsessed with this shirt.
Yeah,
I might not take it off the rest of my vacation.
I mean, that wouldn't be the most hygienic stuff to do. But
I've been wearing the same Rage Against the Machine shirt for the last 3 days.
yeah,
I just flipped it inside out today.
We had this conversation. If you can see his shoes, he's gonna trek in those. I don't know how.
I always go hiking in these.
And the sole is like almost broken.
Yeah, it's getting there. They're good though.
But anyway, it was a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much. And again, I'm super
Sumedh,
grateful.
Everyone.
I'm super grateful to have you inspired me and a lot more kids in India.
Thank you.
And we want to see a lot more. So come back.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a pleasure to be here. Like the first day I did a fan meetup.
Yeah,
it was so cool to like actually see kids who I've talked to on the internet.
Correct.
And they would show me like, this is me. And I'm like, oh, I know that screen name. And so
you do recognize them?
Oh yeah. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
So it was cool.
Cool. Thank you so much, Rory.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.